with 8 seconds. Rogers has it. Here's Cerrone. Cerrone, shot to goal! Shot to goal! Shot to goal! Sean Cerrone, the game winner! Cruz, the angle, oh, and he beat him! Oh, he went short side, upstairs, right under that crossbar.
What happened? It was all there for Chaminade.
It was like deja vu again.
Oh
One year to the next. They beat St. Anthony's at home and lose to Yorktown to take away their undefeated season. It was a good game. That was a fun Tuesday, though, in Mineola.
Thursday?
It was Thursday? Was it?
We went to the Smithtown Westward Melville.
Yes. I spent a lot of time on Long Island last week. It was a good week for me on Long Island, but that was a fun game.
Here's a plan I have. So next year,
Commissioner,
you can spend less time on Long Island.
Commissioner of the Catholic League.
I have said time and time again that the
go.
second St. Anthony Chaminade game is a waste.
Right.
Okay, because when it's already determined you're going to play in the championship, that second game, to me, is a waste until now. New idea. Okay? On Holy Saturday, starting next year.
Did you jump up out of bed about 3 in the morning and go, I have it!
Well, remember I was driving. I'm like, Jimmy, I got it. I got it. Here's how we're going to make that second game fun. Every year on Holy Saturday, we're going to call it Holy Saturday. You play 2. At 11 o'clock at Chaminade, the Friars come and face off against St. Anthony's. At 8 o'clock that night, or 7:30, at a time to be determined, everybody goes to South Huntington. They play the second game of the season on the same day.
Double dip.
Let's see Weiserick and Moran say something about that.
Day-night doubleheader.
That's it. I think it's a great idea.
Right. The first reaction of the politically correct contingent will be, oh, you can't play 2 games in the same day. Really? Yeah. Have you seen the elite travel teams out there in the world? Have you seen the summer circuit? They play 2 and 3 games in the same day.
So do you like it?
I love it.
Do it,
I love it because listen.
I told Tommy Monahan he was all for it.
The game Thursday is the first round is always about the curiosity of the updated version of both the teams. This year's version. Sure, they've each played, some other great teams. We know Chaminade's been rolling, beating everybody. St. Anthony's got out of the gate a little slow, but now they hit their stride. That curiosity. And it was a great game.
Great game.
Back and forth. I mean, St. Anthony's down 3 goals to half. We'll get to the highlights and all that, but the game was played at a high level. The one thing I said to you standing there, me, you, and Raph, was this game is being played at a high level.
No doubt.
They are attacking every possession. There's a lot of intensity in every possession. The guys are trying to make next level passes. It was great lacrosse. Great lacrosse.
It really was. Man, does St. Anthony's bring out the best in Chaminade,
especially
in Mineola. Here we go, first quarter. Chaminade up 1-0. Not for long. Providence-bound Brendan Kearns, 2-0. St. Anthony, they're going to get on the board. Our buddy Greg Galligan, look at this rip.
Woo!
Oh my golly. Right by Isnardi, who played great in this game. Oh, Matty was great. Second quarter, Cerrone is working hard. Little bounce shot, gets it over there. Owen Rogers, very good in this game. He would return the favor to Cerrone later. Chaminade gets this goal by Jack Brennan, the Colgate bounder. It's 4-1. It's like, yo, St. Anthony's, what are we doing here? It's now 4-2. Cerrone, laser.
Wow. I mean, that is from deep, too. Cerrone is stepping out right there. Bring that to Villanova, Sean Cerrone.
Third quarter, St. Anthony down, but not out.
Here they come.
Joe Licciardi.
Joey was as good as it gets.
He's a gamer, man.
Love him. Love him.
Oh, little Pitbull gets after it, man. Here, great move by Eamon Campbell. Gets it over to Licciardi. It's a 1-goal game now. Licciardi had the hat trick. Fourth quarter, it's now a 2-goal game. But JT Caputa. 7-6 now. Over a minute left. St. Anthony's looking to tie it. Galligan will get the shot. Look at the save by Isnardi. But off the rebound, Campbell camped out in front, takes the pass from Licciardi. We go to overtime, tied at 2.
Man, Isnardi going to Army. Listen, Mike, he made a big save in the overtime, then they turned him over to this.
Cerrone, go home. Everybody go home. Get out of here. Let's go. Next year, if my plan comes to fruition, everybody will go home and then they'll get in their car and they'll drive to St. Anthony's right after. Jimmy, let's face it, when they play there next year, St. Anthony's will lose. They can't win there. It's incredible. The last time they won there was in 2007. Guess who was on the team for St. Anthony's then, buddy?
The immortal.
The great one.
Tommy Schreiber.
He was a sophomore then. And now Tommy Schreiber is a senior, 6 years after the fact. Now, he's around all the time because his dad's an assistant coach for Weiserick, Doug. Watch Doug warming up the goalies the other day.
That's great.
Hey,
Hey,
crank it
listen,
up.
Doug was an all-time legendary player his day, too, at Maryland.
Well, he was back. What do we have there, Russell?
Playing a little... they played Cornell at Bethpage High School.
Oh, we did. All right. Oh, you know what? Yeah, before we hear from Schreiber,
Yeah.
let's hear from another very talented quarterback, Cerrone, on the game winner.
I just saw we had a ground ball off a rod, and then Owen Rogers got the ground ball, saw me open, gave me the one more, and then I just went to the rack, and then it turns out there's 1 second left.
Regular season or in championship play, the wins, are they always sweet against St. Anthony's?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to get at least 1 or 2 under your belt before the championship, because then you're confident. You know you can beat them. You're not worried about how good they are, because you're just as good. And it's always a battle. Everybody's beat up after, but it's always a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, the way that game ends is tremendous. It looks like we're going to go to a second overtime. Because Chaminade has the ball, 15 seconds, 10 seconds. St. Anthony's gets a strip, okay? And as the pole picks it up, looks like with 8 seconds he's just going to run out of dodge. But as Cerrone said, on the ride, then Chaminade strips St. Anthony's, picks up a ground ball. That's where that highlight begins. Boom, boom, Rogers to Cerrone, ball game. You know, so it was an amazing little sequence that ended that game.
You following me on Twitter?
I am following you on Twitter.
No, you're not. I tweeted out that night. We got some good response to it. I tweeted out that Sean Cerrone is the Mariano Rivera of high school lacrosse. He's the closer.
Yes, Iona
ISF,
Prep.
the super club. He closed against Iona Prep, who Mariano's son played baseball for, and then he comes back and he gets the game winner. So we talked about Cerrone, great quarterback, great lacrosse player, great athlete, even better kid. Who's that sound like? Sounds like our man Schreiber, who's been watching, I guess down in Princeton. He must be watching what we're doing, and he's liking it. And he played his final high school game, college game on Long Island, the battle at Bethpage, Cornell, Princeton. Schreiber will end his career with 200 career points. One of the great players.
On the nose.
Yep, one of the great players in college lacrosse history. And unfortunately, before his final game, he had to run into the RAF and he asked him some questions.
Oh my gosh.
The only thing I've really thought about is my dad still coaching at St. Anthony, so I go to the old games and still follow those guys. Tough loss yesterday to Chaminade, but to this point, no, I'm just focused on the present, and like I said, hopefully get it done tomorrow.
Yes, and Tommy Schreiber is an all-time player at St. Anthony's in Princeton. Listen, he unfortunately he never got to a Final Four at Princeton. He will finish his career, as you said, 200 points. He'll be a 3-time All-American. And it's the one thing that young players should know. Tommy Schreiber's greatness is based on one thing. He plays harder than everybody.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
Jimmy,
he just plays harder.
In 27 years, I'm talking all sports, football, basketball, lacrosse, I'm going to put Tommy Schreiber in my top 5 all competitors.
Yeah,
list.
you're right.
No
you're
doubt
right.
about it.
You get no argument here.
And it figures that a guy from Ward Melville would stick it to him. Johnny Edmonds, he had 3 goals for Cornell. So in his final high school game, the record will show Cornell 12, Princeton 10.
He'll head off now to the MLL, and
He's already been the #1 pick.
I was going to say, he was the first pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Not on
He'll
the
play
Lizards,
for the
though.
Ohio Machine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's on
well,
Ohio.
they're getting the Long Island Machine to go out there to
Exactly.
Ohio. I'll
Good
tell
for
you
him.
that. Jim.
By the way,
so-
just one last thing. Remember the day I went to his house to do
and
the
you
story?
jumped around on the trampoline.
No, and I go, man, his upper body's so strong. His father goes, well, he goes on this trampoline. They have a trampoline in the yard. You know, everybody's got the fun trampoline. The kids jump. Before he gets on it, he puts on a weighted suit. And as he's jumping on it, he's throwing passes back and forth to his father. Go lefty, go righty, with the weighted suit. I looked at the camera guy. I go, this is why he's the best player.
No doubt. I still said he would have been a great football player and he played at Princeton too.
You're right.
He would have been, no doubt. Congratulations on a wonderful career, Tommy. Jim, I said it on the Hudson Valley show. If somebody said to you, okay, they've played 11 times, it started in 2004, who leads the overall series, Chaminade or Yorktown?
Yeah, you asked me that, and I was wrong because I said Chaminade.
Yeah, it's amazing to think it's Yorktown, and you just
It's close.
It's close, 6-5, something like that. And for the second consecutive year, Chaminade unbeaten late in the season. They play the Huskers, unbeaten no more. So off the mojo of the victory against St. Anthony's, 48 hours later, it was gone.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it's been a while for Yorktown to come on to Long Island and win. Doesn't happen often lately. But Mikey DeVukai to Connor Veracruz. Veracruz going to Rutgers. It was his day, baby. It just starts here. But Chaminade down 2-1. Brendan Kearns going to Providence to Timmy Mangan off the loose ball. Nice job there, Timmy. Ties the game at 2. But this was the difference of the game. This cat, Luke Palmadesso, yeah, he's going to get an assist here to Veracruz. But, folks, he was 11 for 11 at the face-off X. Chaminade, though, would hang in there. Jackie Ty. Ty's heading off to Yale. This is a tough angle right here and beats a good keeper right there in Austin Graham, who was also great on this day. Yorktown, though, Nicky Bonatanabas heading off to Cortland, back to Veracruz. The Rutgers bounder put a lid on it. The Huskers of Yorktown would hold Chaminade to just 3 goals on the day. This is Nicky B now, wheeling and dealing to Veracruz. The other one was Chris Alvarado to Veracruz. Alvarado going off to LIU Post. But Alvarado and Bonatanabas finding the hot hand. And the hot hand on that day was Connor Veracruz.
You mentioned that it was difficult for Yorktown, even though they lead the series, to come to Long Island and beat Chaminade at Chaminade. It has been virtually impossible for Rocky Point to go to Huntington and win. The last time they won at Huntington was the year, I think, 07, where they won the championship, the 008 champion. They crushed them, 17-4.
Yeah.
They were 1-5 in the last 10 years at Huntington. That's why I picked Huntington, and that's why I was wrong. Second quarter, here we go, tied at 2. Billy Martin, laser! Ooh.
Giddy up!
Wow. So Huntington, they're up 1. Over a minute later, Albany-bound Justin Ray.
Good patience here.
Sure was. Lefty had tied it at 3. Then in the third,
change speeds. Boom.
Justin again. Oh, yep. Goal. He was great in this game. They'd have the lead for good.
Look at this pass, Mike.
This was great. Patrick Dallin to Ray, who finds Jordan Furtig.
Come on, give the hockey assist to the keeper.
Love it. Secondary assist. So Huntington now falls into the class of Chaminade, which means there's only 1 left.
Wow.
And you heard me talking to Moltisanti when we were walking out. I'm like, hey, Huntington went down today. I had no idea. So they are
106.
There's 1 left. 1 of 106. And that counts. That counts the Catholic schools, too. So, Jimmy, so that's it. And Smithtown West, to stay perfect, you know what's funny? When you look at what Smithtown West is trying to do, they're trying to do what Ward Melville did a year ago.
Yeah.
And listen, they're not that Ward Melville team. So few have ever been that Ward Melville team. But it was kind of the old versus the new.
Yeah.
It was 2013 versus 2014. Smithtown West, you watched that game, and they were very good against last year's defending national champs.
Their defense is so stout, and they're going to get timely play. Alex DeSalvo, the Quinnipiac bounder, makes it 2-0. Ward Melville will get on the board here. Watch the captain, Patrick Rorty from Bicaro. Bicaro's always got that head on a swivel. Makes it 2-1. Smithtown West would respond. Ryan Keenan, one of the better attackmen in the tri-state area. Watch Keenan, number 6, go to work. Heading off to Nittany Lions. He's a lefty. Goes righty there. So showing both hands. It's now 3-1. To the third quarter we go. Just 17 seconds in. The Maryland-bound Christian Zawatsky. Quick release. Makes it 4-1. This is where Smithtown West would just roll. And then Ryan Keenan. Look at him. Gets topside. Good patience. It's 5-1. And then finally, Zawatsky. Listen, Smithtown West has got bad memories. Ward Melville ended their season last year. Zawatsky and Keenan have had enough. 8-2. Zawatsky with 2 and 3 on the day. And the Bulls are still rolling along, undefeated. But listen, tight game for a half. Ward Melville hanging in there. but it's tough to penetrate that Smithtown West defense, Mike. They're built from the back, and they're built beautifully from the back.
Well, Schmidt's terrific.
Yeah.
Foley is a beautiful-looking athlete.
Yeah, JJ,
and
going to Lehigh.
Greco, when you just walk on the field and you look at Logan, you don't. He's a big, thick, strong man.
Listen,
he's got lightning quick feet.
Logan Greco going to Virginia.
Yeah.
We mentioned, Kyle Matthey going to UNC.
Very
JJ
good.
Foley going to Lehigh. They got some big. And Matty Smith, as you said, the keeper going to the Ohio State University.
And here's the problem I saw with them the other day. They fell into a trap. After they beat Ward Melville, and then a day later, Hills East beat Hauppauge, they put no certainty on Friday's game. They thought it was going to be a cakewalk, and if Matty Schmidt isn't the goaltender he is, I'm going to tell you right now, Smithtown West would have lost that game on Friday.
Yeah, Hauppauge is a good team.
Yes, they are.
You don't know which version you're going to see, but here, Justin Zellen, how about that, Smith? I mean, right in his kitchen.
I love Zellen. That dude's an athlete.
Is going to Albany. He's a great-looking player, man. Ryan Keenan makes it 2-1 Smithtown West. Then it's Keenan once again makes it 3-1. Mike Favaroso, though, to Justin Zellen. Watch Zellen here. Watch this, folks. Wow, top shelf. The Albany Bounder ties it at 3. Look at this. We're tied at 3. This is where the game changes, though. Ryan Bank, he can give him the lead, but there's Smith. Smith's a 2-year starter. Yeah, it changed the direction of the game because now they get a little lift from the defense, and now Keenan again back to his right hand makes it 4-3. And then, listen, off the rush, Matthew to Jimmy the Kid, the freshman, Jimmy Cadigan, with a little athleticism there. The game was tied at 3, and they win it 9-3. So opportunistic scoring, and the Bulls of Smithtown West on our Game of the Weeks, which you can see on channel 614 now, remain undefeated and roll on. But a good strong effort by Hauppauge. Hauppauge's not going to be an easy out.
No, they're not. Right now, we're going to break it down a bit. But I met Jimmy's aunt after the game. I met Jimmy's dad after the game. What I love, and he's going to be unbelievable, the time that he got popped, jumped right back up. Freshman, not anymore.
And you and I agree, Matty Hellberg, the great quarterback for the football team for Smithtown West, X factor for this team.
No doubt.
Because at times he shows you, whoa, he could be a big factor.
I met Matty's parents too. It was a love fest.
I saw his dad had the Colgate shirt on. That's where Matty's heading off. Congratulations to him.
But they should all say congratulations to Schmidt, because without Matty Schmidt, they ain't winning.
It's awesome. I love it. I always like competition. I mean, I don't want to be sitting in the cage by myself doing nothing, but I love the competition. It's awesome. When you're struggling offensively, Hauppauge's putting some pressure on you. They get a look to their key guy in a big situation. You make the big save. What's it mean? Oh, it means a lot. I mean, that's a big save. You always want to make one of those. It gets the team pumped. I mean, it's awesome. It gets the crowd going, everything. Gets a big confidence builder on our team.
Yeah, they call him Smitty, and he's just a great kid. Lifelong keeper for Smithtown, and Bobby Moltisanti Jr., who's doing a wonderful job. Great lacrosse guy. He's got his father, Coach Moltisanti Sr. on the staff now, 400 wins. Tom Rotance, as we mentioned, but Smitty, Mike, Coach Moltisanti said, works every camp, works every clinic, knows where he came from, grew up as a little bull. Now he's the big guy teaching the little bulls, all those little keepers at those clinics and camps. That's nice stuff.
I think Jay Morrow was in a bad mood last year. Smithtown, Sachem North coach. I think he was. 10-8.
10-8, right?
So anytime something like, listen, the best win Sachem North has had in a long time, you go back to 2010 when they snapped West Islett's long. It's true.
You're right.
Until the other day. All right? And we have put our hand in a bee's nest out at Sachem North. My golly, let's get to the highlights. Okay, here we go against Smithtown East, who had just moved to number 11 in our poll. The Rifleman, Jimmy Hoffman. Arrows, they were rolling. But Smithtown East going to show some fight. They'd score 4 of the next 5 goals. Luke Iceback. Now we're tied at 5. Back and forth they went. But Joe Caridi.
Oh, while he's going down, flips it.
And Joe, number 44, gets the goal, and he'd get more. Had a hat trick in the 4th quarter alone. Look at this, beautiful passing, little alley move, and there they go. So that is a huge one. I say it's the best win they've had since 2010. And afterwards, believe me, I heard it. Let me read this email. Can you read this one?
Oh boy,
Here we go. Pop this thing up here. Here we go.
If you were to go to your site, it would be difficult to find that Sachem North played Smithtown East yesterday. It's very upsetting that your coverage is so lopsided. I understand how difficult it is to cover every high school game, but it seems your reporting is predetermined based on the games you attend. That's poor reporting. I would think that one of the top teams you have been talking about for the last 4 to 5 weeks gets beat, only an upset because of your one-way coverage. You would mention it, not sweep it under the rug. Hope the coverage for the remainder of the season is fair. Please forward to Quick, Rafa, Malone, and some guy named Cavallo. Thanks, Artie
Giacalone.
Giacalone.
Now, there's a Giacalone who plays goalie for Sachem North, and he's wonderful. He's a
Okay.
sophomore, 15 saves in that game, 10 games after that. So, Artie, listen, pal, I'll explain to you in a bit. And I called their house. He didn't pick up. I
boy.
found it on...
These are more tweets?
Yeah, this is after. Now, right after that, I picked Bronxville to beat Sachem North. So, look what happens.
Hey, sorry, Mike. Put a face on it.
Next.
How many times you gonna doubt us? Another win, 5 in a row.
It's the first time I even mentioned him this year.
Elijah Gomez, Brian Blaze, put a face on it. You should really start changing your predictions.
Good point, Bri.
Yes. And from Paulie LaFrancesca, proved you were wrong once again.
This is the first time I ever picked him or picked against him.
Nick Lampicelli. As captain, I love the challenge of proving everyone wrong. Thanks for the motivation, but we are the real deal, my man.
You got it, Cap. I like that
Nick.
one. That's
Good
a
job,
great
Nick.
one.
And from the elegant, stylish Joe Cardi.
Caridi.
Caridi with the tux on. Attaboy, Joe.
He
Hope
was
this
great
win
against
earned us
Smithtown
some
East.
respect and showed we are up there with the top-tier teams. Do we deserve that face now? Joe Caridi, you are right, my friend. And then finally, from Paulie LaFrancesca. Hey, Mr. Quick, how many people did it take to pull your foot out of your mouth after Sachem North beat Brownsville? Brownsville?
Paul?
Brownsville is a high school in Pennsylvania.
No, Brownsville's in Brooklyn.
There's no Brownsville High School, though.
There's a Thomas Jefferson. So, Paul, it took 2. How many does it take to take it out of your mouth when you try to make me look bad and you don't even have the team right? Okay, so this is to go back to Artie because I think, honestly, the email he sent was foolish. I do. Here's what he did. He attacked us, okay? Just to give you an idea, we taped 4 quick hit shows on Monday. We taped the boys and girls top 20 on Tuesday, which means all that stuff is done before you even played the Sachem East game, okay? And then what I did was, when I left on Tuesday, I was gonna pick Chaminade Yorktown.
Yeah.
But when they had that great win, I switched it to Bronxville and Sachem North. If Artie, and I didn't get a response from him, looked at the put a face on it, I did a whole bunch of stuff on Sachem North. I love Sachem North. I think Sachem North's a lot of fun. So there you go, Artie. Okay? He did not, and you know what? We're not going to hold it if that's a relative in goal because the goalie, the big G, is playing some terrific lacrosse.
Just like a couple of those said. At one point, after losing to Smithtown West, Sachem North was 3-3. They're now 8-3 because they beat Northport, Hopog, Smithtown East, Lindy, and Bronxville. It's a great 5-game win streak. Okay, Wednesday they're at Ward Melville. Who are you picking?
I don't pick that game because it's a Wednesday, and I just don't.
You gotta pick one now.
Okay.
Who are you picking?
Oh, that game?
Yes. Come on, let's go. They put the challenge. You're gonna put a quick hits Long Island face.
Ward Melville, Sachem North, Wednesday. We're going off the board here. It's not an official put a face on it. Put a face on the flaming arrow!
There you go. There you go. The love is back.
Speaking of 5-game win streaks, Hills West, West Islip, all of a sudden we wrote West Islip off. Both of these teams, 5-game win streaks coming in. Let's do it. Here we go, second quarter. Riley Fort, he had 2 goals, and the Colts of Hills West were up 1, but not for long. Colin Hitter finds Connor Smith. The Lions up 3-2, part of a 7-1 run. Then Trevor Bovich going to hit Trevor Willis.
Trevor to Trevor.
And then Mikey Moynihan puts them up 10-4. They would hang on to win the game 10-9. So Jimmy,
Over.
this has just Suffolk A right now. Okay, you pick it. We will find out a lot also on Wednesday. Smithtown West plays Smithtown East.
Hey.
Next week we will know. We'll put that up there again next week. Jim, 6th annual Lax Out Cancer.
Nice.
We got to know it through Tommy
Yes.
Rotance
I
at
spent many
Shoreham
days
Wading
at that
River.
event. It's a wonderful
and
event.
the thing that I love, Liam Walsh, who they kind of adopted out
Sure.
there at Shoreham Wading River. Have you seen the pictures of Liam?
He looks unbelievable.
Incredible. Here he is leading the Mount Sinai and Shoreham team out on the field. And get a look at this next picture. He just looks so good. He's been battling cancer 3 years.
Oh.
He looks so great. So
Great image.
let's go right to the highlights. Liam, great to see you,
Oh,
my
yeah,
friend.
buddy. The game is irrelevant, but they still played it. Looks as healthy as a horse. And Shoreham Wading River would not disappoint. Anthony Visitin to Tristan Cates. And then Danny Hughes to Hunter Jays. Shoreham Wading River takes a 3-2 lead. How about Michael Oscalzo? Watch him win the faceoff. This is a little SWR, sharing the ball. Mike to Hunter to Troy Miller. Troy Miller makes it 4-2 Shoreham Wading River. And then Troy Miller doing it again. Vicentin on the receiving end crosses the line. It was 5-2. Vicentin, it was his day. You know number 45 in that SWR program, Ryan Bray. Put a lid on it. Shoreham Wading River wins big over Mount Sinai.
When you get a Cam 1 game, you also get a writer to write about something. And Dylan wrote a beautiful lead story about that game, and his follow-up story was really good. Dill, pop on here for a sec.
Hey, buddy.
It's nice in this business when it's more than just reading a byline. You really affected somebody, and MSG Varsity did with this game the other day.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I can't really take a whole lot of credit for it. I was just doing my job. But as you guys said, I mean, the Lax Out Cancer, the 6th year at Shoreham Wading River, it's so much more than just lacrosse. You know, we cover so many lacrosse games, and this one is one of those special occasions. Riggs Rock that we covered as well, Chaminade and Manhasset. You love to tell the extra story, the story behind the story, and that's what we had out at Shoreham Wading River.
You got a great email from one of the dads who missed his son's first game in 11 years, or since he was 11.
Yeah, Tom Tatarian, he said, Dylan Butler, thank you for your well-written story on the Shoreham Wading River versus Mount Sinai boys lacrosse game, Lax Out Cancer article. I really did watch the streaming coverage on MSGVarsity.com, both before and after surgery today, both the girls and the boys games. In the 11 years that my son has played lacrosse, starting in the 1st grade, this is the first game of his that I have ever missed. Needless to say, it was an emotional day for our family. Thank you, MSG Varsity, and thank you, Stony Brook Hospital, for patient Wi-Fi. That was from Tom Tatarian. His son is the goalie at Shoreham Wading River.
That's a great job, Dill. Way to go. We wanted to get that on because, unfortunately, it's a disease that affects so many people, and we're able to, that was good medicine for Tom Sr. that day, and he got to see his son play. So, Dill, thanks for letting me see that, and Tom, congratulations to you and your family, and keep fighting, man. This guy, Tom Sr., he's a fighter, and we know he's going to do great. Dill, thanks, bud.
All right, bud.
Okay, Jimmy, Lynbrook High School. All right, they beat Seaford last week.
Yeah.
Let's go right to those highlights real fast.
Yeah, 3rd quarter game tied at 6. James Curley takes the pass in the spot. Vikings would go up 7-6 here, but back come the Owls. Gordon Purdy. Purdy is a stud. Finds the back of the net. It's tied at 7 going into the 4th, and there was only one goal in the final quarter, and it belongs to Purdy. Lynbrook, only loss on the year is to Friends, Mike. This team is a factor. Look at Purdy hanging in there. Wins it.
Yeah, that win was good. This win was great. For the first
boy.
time in 13 years, they beat Manhasset. Joe Grossi, the game-winning goal in overtime. So as my man, the capper, said, he hit me with this. I like this capper guy. Quickie, what was the Lynbrook Manhasset score? Say it loud, buddy. 8-7 Lynbrook, capper! And he has been there. So now Lynbrook, Jim, intriguing, right?
Yeah.
Just one loss this year. is there any way that they would pop into tomorrow's top 20?
They should definitely be recognized as a candidate. They are a candidate.
I'm going to tell you this. They
Okay.
are winning Nassau B because they're going to roll Island Trees. They're going to beat Hewlett. They're going to beat West Hempstead. That means they are going to win Nassau B2. How about that?
Congratulations, Liam. You look like a champion, baby. Great job.